So what I wanted to talk about today was a study technique that I sort of discovered throughout the course of Year 12 that I've since abbreviated to Sunto. So Sunto is an acronym that stands for Syllabus, Understanding, Note-Taking, Talking about it, and then Overviewing it. Let's start with the first step, the syllabus. Every subject that you have has a syllabus associated with it that has sort of a list of dot points or something similar of what you need to know in order to do well in your test. So it would make sense that you would have a copy of your syllabus and pretty well just know it inside out, because if you know the syllabus, you know what you're going to be asked. It's also important to understand on the syllabus the verbs that are associated with a particular dot point. That way you will be able to sort of gauge the level of understanding that you need for that particular dot point. Which brings us to step number 2, which is understanding. It's one thing to get taught your notes in class, write them down, and then move on to the next thing. And 4 weeks down the track, you've got to just cycle back through those class notes that you really didn't pay a whole heap of attention to. So it's important that you, before you write any notes down, before you take anything down, you need to just conceptually understand whatever idea is on this syllabus up here. So before I wrote any of my notes down, especially in chemistry and in biology, I'd often just miss the class notes and just conceptually understand the idea before I took any notes down. And that was just purely because that helped me later in the test. I valued long-term understanding a lot more than that short-term gain of just having the notes done at the end of the day. Next thing you want to do when you make your notes, we're up to the end part of Sunto now. When you make your notes, you want to write the syllabus dot point down, and then you want to make your notes underneath it. The key part to that is this middle part here, this understanding. You can't know the syllabus dot point and then make notes. You have to understand what you're talking about first before you make any kind of notes. So it should be, in red you'd have your syllabus dot point, and then in blue you'd have or blue, black, anything that's not red, you'd have your notes underneath, the conceptual understanding of it. And then after that, what you want to do is you want to talk to someone about it. Now, my friends and I, we were pretty avid chemistry nerds, so we talked about that quite a bit. But just by talking about it with someone else, whether it be a teacher, whether it be some friends that do chemistry, or any other subject for that matter, helps you understand a little bit better and actually improves your memory on the subject. So just by talking about it, it won't feel like you're studying, but you're just giving yourself that little bit of extra sort of ammunition for the test that is to come in a few weeks' time. Alright, and the last thing that you want to do is just overview your notes. Is commonly known as dreaded sort of study, but if you follow this sort of technique, it's not going to be that sort of awful, I don't remember these notes sort of studying. It's just going to simply be recalling the information that you've already really understood. So if you follow these first four steps, that overview part is really simple. It's just reading it and memorizing it at a higher sort of standard. Because once you've understood it, this is a main point here. Once you've understood whatever it is you need to know, then the rest of these steps just sort of fall into place, and your study will be so much easier. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. This is Nick from That Student Life Australia, and this is my study technique that I used throughout the Year 12 HSC year, and it worked pretty well for me. Thanks, guys. See you later.